session. This panel discussion is entitled Treasury Management in the Low Yield Environment. Our moderator for this session will be Kirill Ilinski, who's the Managing Partner at Fusion Asset Management. And I'll pass over to Kirill to introduce the rest of the panel, if that's okay.
Very good. Can you hear me? So, thank you very much for attending this panel. We have distinguished panelists today. To my right is Paul Phillips, who is the Group Treasurer of EASYJET. I probably don't have to introduce EASYJET, and Paul will talk a little bit about the Treasury and the company himself. Then it's Tom Hunt, who is Director of Treasury Services at Association for Financial Professionals. Tom will share with us your experience of dealing with the regulators and thinking what are the challenges on the other side of the Atlantic. Sean Grace is a Group Treasurer of SECURITAS, and prior to that was a Group Treasurer at Aer Lingus. So we have two airline panelists today effectively. And then Michal Kawski is Head of Treasury of GAZPROM, Marketing and Trading in London. So let me start by asking our panelists to speak a little bit, maybe a couple of minutes literally, about their own companies. Not really introducing the companies, but talk about in more details what are the challenges facing treasuries in every particular company and depending on the market environment before moving to the main topic of the session. So, Paul?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. Overall, everyone understands fully that the airline business is extraordinarily volatile and effectively always open to external shocks. So as a result of that, the balance sheet structure and liquidity position in particular is managed on a very cautious basis, I would say. So what we actually did, this will come into the discussion a bit later on, was how much cash is too much. We really needed to decide what was the target level of liquidity. Now I should explain that every bit of financing that we have is secured on aircraft. So that, like everything else in life, is a plus and a minus really for us. But what it does mean is that there isn't that sort of standby facility just there waiting to be drawn, because it's not the sort of feature that we have within the group. So really, cash acts as your ultimate committed facility within the group, and that's the point. So what we did was come up with a very easy metric really. A lot of work went into it, but it ended up being very easy to understand and more importantly, very easy to apply, which is at any given time, we should be holding at least £4 million per aircraft. And this was based upon a sort of extreme stress test of the business, in which case, as the fleet grows, that number goes up. But of course what it's saying is, at the worst possible time of the year, for whatever reason, everybody's grounded for 3 months. Just how much cash would you burn in that point, on the basis that you can't actually raise any additional funding, what's going to see you through that period. And I think the challenges for us, which I'll come back to later, is that we are very significantly in excess of that. The quality problem, as one of our non-execs called it, but from my perspective still an issue. It gives rise to an inefficient balance sheet, and more importantly, gives challenges to the team as to actually where we're going to place the funds. So at this stage, that probably just sums up where we are and probably one of the reasons I'm here today.
And I'm Tom Hunt with the Association for Financial Professionals, and we're a trade organization located just outside of Washington, D.C., and so we do a lot in terms of roundtable meetings with treasurers all across the U.S., and we do a lot of advocacy. We're up on Capitol Hill every now and then. But really a lot of what we do is making sure that we're in the forefront of what's on the minds of treasurers, and definitely short-term investing is something from a regulatory approach is very near and dear to a lot of corporate treasurers' hearts in the U.S.
Sure.
Yes, thanks. I work for SECURITAS, and for corporate treasury, it's all about the underlying business. So just to paint a small picture about the business, it's a service business. We're a security company. We operate in 51 countries, so we're very international. We have 300,000 employees, so it's very labour intensive, very little capex, and the business model really is selling our service